All right, we're back here and we're going to take the next steps in setting up our WordPress site. If you remember, we came over here earlier and we saw some installed plugins, and one of the first and most important ones to make sure that is activated is your Akismet. And Akismet is a spam blocker. Since this is a blog, when there's the ability for people to leave comments, and when you first set up your WordPress site, what you may run into if you don't have Akismet turned on and set up is what you may run into is that you'll get a bunch of spam comments blasted to your blog, and you don't want that. It's a big pain in the butt to clean up, etc. So you see this big button here that says activate your Akismet account. You're almost done, but you need to activate your account to say goodbye to comment spam. There's another link right here that says first to click the activate link and then sign up for your API Akismet, your Akismet API. So we're going to click the button and we're going to create a new Akismet key, and we're going to get a new API, Akismet API key. Now, if you don't already have a WordPress.com account, which is different than what we're using on your WordPress site, then you'll need to create a new one in order to get your Akismet API key. In this case, I already have one, so I'm going to log in with that. So now it says Akismet wants to connect to WordPress.com, and we're going to say we authorize this. Enter the URL of the site that you'll be using Akismet on, and then choose a plan. So we are going to use it on http://smmgr.org. And we're using it for personal. So we're going to click personal. And its personal blog access is by donation. So we're going to slide that to 0. Enter our first and last name and click continue. Great, and now we have our Akismet key. We can just copy this and go to the Akismet page on WordPress. I have a key. Paste that here and click Save Changes. You can see here we've done that. Click the Save Changes, so we're good. I'm done with this tab. And now it says settings, auto delete spam posts submitted, more than a month old, yes. Show the number of comments you've approved besides each comment author. I don't care about that. We're going to click Save Changes. And what we see here is just the status that everything's working correctly. You can confirm that Akismet is working by clicking here. It will tell you service is up and operating normally. So this means that our site is now being protected and from spam comments. So we're good to go there. Now, the other thing that you can see here, welcome to WordPress, get started, is we can install the WordPress Jetpack, which I'm scrolling down, and it says most popular, supercharge your WordPress site with powerful features, only available to WordPress.com users. But we are going to click install on the Jetpack. And we're just going to click install now. So we're going to be able to get email subscriptions. We're going to add social networking. We're going to be able to monitor our site's activity. We're going to be able to get statistics. There's a lot of different things that we can do with this Jetpack. So we're going to install that now. And it'll take just a minute to install. and then we'll activate the plugin. Great, and we can see that that's activated. Once you do, you can see that your Jetpack is here along with your Kismet stats right there underneath where it says dashboard. And we'll get more into this as we customize our site more, but I wanted you to have that. There's one other thing that you need to do before we move on to anything else in the customizations, and that is that we want to go down to settings, and we want to set up a few things. First of all, your site title and your tagline are very important for search engine optimization. This is how you are found in Google or Bing or Yahoo when people search for you. So this is the Social Media Manager org site, and it is a place for social media managers to learn and connect. I want to make sure to change those words so that these keywords are showing up when people search for me. And as soon as your site's created, that is a cue to Google to start crawling it and index it. So this is something that you want to do very, very quickly. And then we're going to click Save Changes. Now the next most important thing is to come down here to permalinks. And as you can see, if we go to socialmediamanager.org and we clicked on like our sample page, you can see up here in the URL, it's got question mark, page ID, number, all of that. It's not very appealing, okay, at all. Even if we went to our recent posts, we have our first post again, question marks and page numbers, not very appealing at all. So what we want to do is change that to something, and you can see that's the default there. We want to change it to sample post, and then we're going to click Save Changes. Now when I visit my site, and I'm just going to do a new tab, and I click on sample page, what you can see is that my slugs, or the words that come after the URL, the words when I click on Hello World, it changes to Hello World. It's much prettier, it's definitely easier to remember, and it's also search engine friendly. So we want to make sure that you also change your permalink, that was here, permalink settings. Now we're going to come up here to our posts, and we're going to click categories. And the next thing that you need to change is this uncategorized. For when you start creating categories for your blog posts, this is going to be your default category, and you don't want it to be called uncategorized. So in this instance, I'm going to change it to social media management. That's the name of it. The slug, again, is what I called the thing that went after the URL. Okay, it contains only letters, numbers, and hyphens. This is going to be a parent category, and the description will be for general social media management posts. Okay, description is not prominent by default, but some themes may show it. You can put it there, or you can actually leave it blank. Now, when I go to create a new blog post, you'll see that it is, I have the main category is social media management. I can add new categories like Twitter. I can put them under social media management, or they can be their own parent category and stand by themselves. However your blog for your client, if this was best new cars or something, if this was a car dealership blog, right? But we wanted to change that so that our main category was not called uncategorized. So if I published that, again, remember we also updated our slugs, so you would see that it was a new blog post, and that it was posted in social media management as a category. If I click on that, I would see all the posts that are on social media management. And, or that had been, see, Hello World was categorized there. Our new blog post was categorized there. So again, these are just some of the under the hood things that you want to do to set up your site. Now, one last thing on Jetpack that I missed was that it says your Jetpack is almost ready, but you need to connect to your WordPress.com account. And if you remember when we set up a Kismet, we also needed a WordPress.com account. So we're going to go ahead and connect to WordPress.com. It's simply going to ask me to log in again if I'm not already logged in. Social Media Manager org site, Jetpack, and WordPress.com. It wants to connect those two. Do I authorize it? Yes, I do. Now, the reason this was only one step is because I was already logged into WordPress.com, which I created when I went to create my Kismet account. Now you can see that I'm connected to WordPress.com, and I can configure my WordPress.com statistics. So let's go ahead and do that. Put a chart showing 48 hours of views in the admin bar, yes. Count the page views of registered users who are logged in, no. This will allow us when we're doing work, like right now we're logged in, our page views wouldn't count, that would mess up our numbers. Hide the stats smiley face image. This image helps collect stats and make the world a better place, but still should work when hidden. We're gonna just leave it there. And then who is able to view the stats, meaning if we created a lot of people who could log in, who would be able to do that? So all of these default stats are good, or all of these default settings for the stats are good. We'll go back to Jetpack by WordPress. You can connect your site to your most popular social networks. We're going to talk a little bit about plugins. Monitor and manage your site's activity with notifications in your toolbar. We can activate comments here if we wanted. Allow users to subscribe to our posts via email and get a notification. Publish your posts directly from an email account. Likes we're not going to use because we're going to use the Facebook likes. Spelling and grammar, there's a lot of different things, a contact form, search box, a lot of different widgets. So you can go through here and look through some of our suggested plugins. This is kind of new, so some of my suggested plugins it might be covered here where you don't have to actually use my suggested plugin. It might be covered here in the Jetpack, so check that out first. But now you have your account is set up. You have your main technology configured, okay? You've got your settings configured, both in general and in your permalinks. You've got your post categories configured, and you've got your Kismet on and your Jetpack on. So in the next video, we're going to talk about customizing your site more, and particularly the way that your site looks with your WordPress themes.